poppets. Hello, my little poppets, mums and dads, and welcome back to story time once again. Well, Stinky and I have had a very busy day like we quite often do, and we spent most of today in the garden. So we were fixing up my flower beds and we did get very, very dirty indeed. I had filthy fingernails, even though I did have gloves on at one stage, but I still managed to get some dirt in those gardening gloves. And Stinky was also very dirty. So we decided not only to get washed, but we decided to have a facial and a manicure, and Stinky has used some lovely, lovely moisturiser on his face, and we washed his fur as well. So we're just going to dry it off a little bit more. So hold still, Stinky dear. Yes, oh, that's the ticket under there. Yes, oh, behind the ears there. Oh, that's looking lovely here. Oh, yes. Oh, it's doing wonders for your fur, I have to say. Yes, much better. Let me have a smell. Oh, you smell like roses, Stinky. Oh, wonderful. Well, before we continue on with anything else, so we'll pop the hairdryer down there for just a moment. I think you could also do with some moisturiser, Stinky, on your paws, dear. So I'll just get a little bit here, just squirt a little bit out there. Yes, and I'll put a little bit there on your paws. Yes, what's that? You like all this pampering? Yes, I like it too. It's wonderful, isn't it? Yes, do you like that? Massage into the paws there. Yes, oh yes, lovely and soft. Wonderful. What's that? Can we have a facial tomorrow? Yes, well, I don't see why not. I think we deserve the royal treatment, don't you? Yes. Well, anyway, I'm waffling on just a bit like I do. I suppose we should get on with today's story. We've got lots to get through today, I have to say. And I must also remind the dear poppets, don't forget about our free book giveaway competition. You mustn't forget that either. So all you have to do is come up with 3 reasons why you enjoy story time so very, very much. Pop your answer in the comment box down below and you could be in the draw to win 2 wonderful books. Yes, and that is very exciting, I have to say. And the lucky winner, the lucky poppet, will be announced on the 9th of December. Yes, well, that's wonderful and very, very exciting, Stinky, I have to say. Now, getting on with today's story, this does look like a cracker and it's called There's a Tiger in the Garden. And this one is written by Lizzy Stewart. A very, very good book, I have to say, and I do like stories about tigers. This one looks wonderful. We've got a wonderful garden there with a dear little poppet and a tiger. So I am looking forward to reading this one very, very much, and some lovely bright illustrations as well. And here we go, my dear poppets. Nora is bored. There's nothing to do here, Grandma, she says. Matter of factly, Jeff the giraffe is bored too. Well, there's Grandma, and there's Nora, and there's lots of things happening on this page. Nora must be staying with Grandma, and there's toys, and it looks as though she's been drawing some wonderful pictures as well. But Nora is feeling quite bored. She wants something else to do. Yeah, she's having a bit of an old, dull day, I think. And would like something else to do. Why don't you play in the garden, says Nora. Says Nora's grandma. I thought I saw a tiger there earlier. A tiger? Asked Nora. There's no tiger in the garden. I'm too old for silly games. I'm sure I saw one, she replies. And dragonflies the size of birds and plants that can swallow you up whole. And a polar bear who likes fishing, although he's a bit grumpy, Stinky. But most magnificent of all was the tiger. You and Jeff should take a look if you don't believe me. Well, I wonder if they're going to see a tiger, my dear poppets. I just don't know. How wonderful, an orange stripy tiger in the garden. She's being silly, Jeff, says Nora, standing outside in the garden. There's no tiger here, just the same boring old garden with the same boring old plants and boring old. Whoosh! Something whizzes by, Stinky, whizzes by Nora's face. It's a dragonfly! Well, there's Nora there, out in the garden with her giraffe, Jeff. and she's wondering if there really is a tiger in the garden. Now, she has seen a dragonfly, so perhaps she will meet a tiger. I just don't know. Yes, well, this is getting exciting. I think I'd be excited if I saw a tiger in my back garden. Wow, says Nora. Yeah, she's wowing over all the butterflies and all the dragonflies in her garden. Well, Nora says to Jeff, there might be dragonflies as big as birds, but I know for a fact that there aren't plants that'll eat us whole or a grumpy polar bear. And there's definitely no tiger, Stinky. Do you think there's a tiger in Nora's back garden? You're not sure? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Come on, Jeff, let's go home. Well, there's Nora there, and there's some wonderful different plants there. There's some plants there with pointy teeth there. They look a little bit like Venus flytraps, perhaps. So there's all sorts of wonderful things happening in this magical garden. Yes, well, I don't know. She just very well might see a tiger. Anything is possible, Stinky. We'll just have to wait and see. Jeff! Oh no, Jeff has been caught by some vines and bushes. Yes, I wonder what's going to happen next. Fine, so there are dragonflies the size of birds, and that bush definitely wanted to eat you. But I don't see any polar bear. There's no sign of this ridiculous tiger anywhere. No, there's no sign, Stinky. Come on, Jeff, let's go home. Well, Nora doesn't believe this story about a tiger in the garden, and she's saying to her toy giraffe, Jeff, let's go home. I wonder what's going to happen. Although it's a very thick jungle with lots of bushes and trees, so perhaps there's a tiger hiding somewhere, my dear Poppets. There very well could be. Hello, says a gruff, grisly voice. Ah, hello, replies Nora. I suppose you're looking for that wretched tiger, aren't you? Says the polar bear. No one ever comes looking for me. Well, there's Nora with her toy giraffe, and she has spotted the grumpy polar bear. And I do believe that he is doing a spot of fishing. I wonder if he's caught any fish. I don't know. So there is a polar bear, but still no sign of a tiger. Yes, I just don't know, Stinky. Oh, not you as well, shouts Nora. There's no tiger living in my grandma's garden. That is just ridiculous. Tigers live in the jungle, not in a garden, Stinky. Do they live in a garden? Are you sure? Yes, we'll just have to wait and see. And even though there are dragonflies the size of birds and plants that want to eat us, and you are very grumpy polar bear, there's absolutely, definitely, 100% no. What do you think? Do you think there's a tiger in the garden? No tiger, says Nora. Hello, says the tiger. Oh, well, what a surprise. There is a tiger after all. Look at that. A great big tiger with that wonderful big tigery face there. What a surprise Nora has just received. She was not expecting that, I have to say. Although it is the perfect garden for a tiger, it really is. Tigers don't live in gardens, says Nora. Are you real? I don't know, says the tiger. Are you? Nora thinks about this for a long time. I don't know, she admits. How can you tell? I'm not sure you can, says the tiger. This makes Nora feel a bit funny. Well, there's Nora there, and I don't think she can quite believe her eyes that she is actually talking to a real-life tiger in her grandma's garden. I suppose you would have a bit of a shock if you walked out and you saw a tiger in your garden. Yes, I know I'd have an awful shock if I looked out and saw a tiger. I have an idea, says the tiger. If you believe in me, then maybe I'll be real. And if you believe in me, says Nora, then maybe I'll be real too. Deal, says the tiger. Deal, agrees Nora. Come on, says the tiger, I'll give you a ride home. And so Nora and Jeff rode home on the tiger's back. Oh, how exciting, Stinky, going for a ride on the tiger's back, dear. They talk about breakfast and trampolines and the grumpy polar bear. Well, there's Nora there, going for a ride, of course, on the wonderful tiger, going for a ride through the garden. How exciting! A wonderful ride on the tiger's back. Yes, how marvellous. That would be exciting, I have to say. He really is extraordinarily friendly for a tiger. Can I come and see you again? Asks Nora, when they are near her house. Of course, says the tiger. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. How marvellous. And there's Nora and the tiger having a great big hug. A great big hug because they've become the best of friends. Oh, that really is marvellous, I have to say. And there's some dragonflies there as well and some beautiful birds in the tree. How wonderful. Inside, Nora and Jeff sat down for dinner. There really is a tiger in the garden, isn't there, says Nora. I'm not sure, replies Grandma. Perhaps it's only a ginger cat. It's hard to tell sometimes. No, says Nora, it's absolutely, definitely a tiger. And do you know what? What? Asks Grandma. Well, there's Nora there, and she's explaining to Grandma that there really is a tiger in the back garden. She knows there's a tiger because she went for a ride on the tiger's back, Stinky. She really did. There's a mermaid in the bath. A mermaid in the bath. Could there really be a mermaid in the bath? The end. And there's the tiger sitting with Jeff the giraffe on the very last page. And that was called There's a Tiger in the Garden. An absolute cracker, I have to say. And I did enjoy reading that very, very much. Well, fancy that, Stinky, a tiger in the garden. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, I did enjoy that. What a marvellous book. I think perhaps we should go for another walk in the garden, my dear. And perhaps we might see a tiger. Do you think we will? What's that? You saw a camel in the back garden, did you? Really? Well, perhaps we could go camel riding. That would be exciting, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Well, dear Poppets, mums and dads, we have come to the end of story time once again. It does go by very, very quickly, but as they say, time goes by when you're having fun. Perhaps you could read a book about a tiger, or perhaps you could go creeping about in your garden and you might just find one, or perhaps you could catch a tiger. That'd be a lot of fun, I have to say. And as always, my dear ones, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!